Hi, I'm Cortavius. I'm pretty excited for this video. Phantom Shogun's Grove, I plan on going through and showing you the boss summary. I've done a bunch of research in the optimizer, so I'm going to show you the roles that I've seen successful in this dungeon, the subs that you can use, things that can come in and be successful, the minimum stats that I've seen be successful, as well as the averages, and then ascensions. What are the minimum number of ascensions you have to be successful? And what are some of the averages that I'm seeing in the optimizer? How a speed tuned team for stage 25 can get to stage 25. So I'll show the runs along the way. I'll put timestamps in so you can see it. Let's go. Few things about the boss. At stage 25, you're talking 350 speed for that boss. So the team I'm going to suggest is not going to try and compete with that. We're not going to try and outspeed the boss. I've seen a crazy cardial 340 speed go faster than the boss, but there's no point. Resist, you need 735 resistance to avoid this boss. You need 605 accuracy. So those are some heavy stats. This team won't try and do either one of those. Poison, 90% less damage, and smite 70% less damage. So brimstone. So those are really not that effective. It blocks passives, so champions like Geomancer really don't work on this boss, or other ones that you're relying on for that passives to do, like passive poisons or passive damage just don't work. It blocks the passives. A couple things on the mechanics that if I just read you the skills to this boss, it would take forever, and there's no real point. The main things you really need to know is if you weak hit the boss, it adds to the boss's counter. And suffice it to say on the counter, if you give above 30, you're in trouble. If you get above 40 on that counter, you're going to die. So you need to keep the counter low. Weak hits raise the counter, and it's per hit. So if you take a cold heart in there with a 4-hit A1 and she weak hits, she will do 8 per weak hit. That is a 32 on the counter from 1 A1 from cold heart. So per hit, so it will really hurt you if you have weak hits on those champions. And then the ascensions, for each ascension you have, you reduce one on the counter. So if your cold heart had per skill, so if your cold heart has a 3 ascension and she uses her A1 with 4 hits, she will reduce that counter by 3. Not 12, 3, because she only gets the credit for her ascension on a per skill basis. So you get penalized for weak hits on a per hit, you get a benefit on the ascensions per skill. Punitive, yes, that was raised as a bug from the content creators when they went through testing, but either Polarium likes it that way or just didn't bother fixing it, and who knows, maybe that was game design that way, but that is the way it is. So you have to deal with it. So that's probably it on the boss summary. I think those are the stats that you really need to be aware of. I'll get into how do you now combat that. So there are certain roles you need on the team to be successful. So I'll do that while I bring up one of the teams that I'm looking at. Everybody on here has plenty of subs that I'm going to walk through. So one role you need, which I have Gnarlhorn in, is what I'll call the crit damage tank, or the enfeebled target is another way it's referred to. This champion has the most crit damage on the team. So this Gnarlhorn has to have more crit damage than anyone else on the team. That'll make him the target if you don't have Stone Skin on anyone. You can't put Stone Skin on this target if you want them to be the target. The boss will ignore Stone Skin and go after someone else. If they all have Stone Skin, then it will target the champion with the Stone Skin with the greatest crit damage, and you're back to this target working. So no one on this team would have Stone Skin. So Gnarlhorn with the most crit damage will be the target. You can use a reset champion in this spot. So you can use Renegade, Kaimar, Yumiko in this spot. You can use a cleanser in this spot. So I have Wither on the team. Wither could be the crit damage tank. You could use Riho. You could use Ugo. As well in those positions. A second role is the cleanser. So if you don't use your cleanser as the crit damage tank, which I'm not, then you need a cleanser in that role. And anyone that has a cleanse ability, for the speeds I'm going to show, it has to be on a 3-turn cooldown. So Demytha, Reliquary Tender, who's a rare and would make this a 5 rare team, and Reliquary Tender works just as well as Wither. You don't need Wither. I just wanted to build a champ that I might use somewhere else, and I've played with her a few times in Arena, so I like Wither. But Reliquary Tender, I've seen just as successful, 100% runs, and I'll go through when I get the stats, I'll show you Reliquary Tender build. So Wither works, Riho works, Ugo works, but it's on a 4-turn cooldown. So the speeds wouldn't, I don't think, work the same. Maybe it does, but I don't know that it does. I'm just saying anyone on a 3-turn cooldown works. Well, I would call this role the protection role. This role will protect your crit damage tank. That could be a shield champ, that could be a health building champ, somebody to keep the team alive, or you could put a DPS in there if these two are strong enough that you don't need it. So I've seen the teams with 3 DPS and not using Paragon. What I do with Paragon is Paragon allows Gnarahorn to never get killed, because Paragon can keep the unkillable on Gnarahorn, and Gnarahorn can just use his A1 the entire fight. So the last 2 spots are DPS. Wildly available choices here. I have seen Drexthar, Royal Guard, Ninja, Gnut, Coldheart, Dythe, Shemael, Chronam, Whisper, Acrizia, Elhain. I've seen Elhain and Aethel in the spots and the team work. Now that team took like 5 or 6 minutes, so I don't recommend that. The max HP damaging champs are the most efficient. So the Acrizias, and Coldheart's Ninja's an exception, because he can do the, take out the HP burns and activate them, similar to Chronam can. But, a couple rare Coldhearts in here work fine. So really in these spots, if you have Ascensions on those champions, that would make the difference for me if you had equal choices to make. Rares are really easy to buy the Ascensions on in the market, and you can also, I had them in my wish list and got lucky on some Soul Stones, so I got some better ones on here. But I think I bought the 6th star for Coldheart in the shop, and that worked out really well. Okay, so Gnarahorn comes in at 176 speed. And let's talk about the stats that you need on each of these champs as I get to them. So in that crit damage tank role, I have Gnarahorn at about 65k HP and 3000 defense. That is higher than you need. So what I've seen successful in the optimizer is about a 64,000 HP and only 2.2 defense. Or I've seen as low as like a 57k HP, but you need about 2.9 defense then. So you can flex the HP or the defense, but you basically, the more HP you have, the less defense you can have. The less HP, the more defense. But either one of those strats. So you can see those numbers on the screen. And then speed, I have 176. The speed could be anywhere from 176 to 184 on the crit damage tank. Regardless of what the rest of the team does. This role can be anywhere from 176 to 184 on speed. Team setup, you see I have him only doing the A1. The benefit of Gnarahorn in this position is Gnarahorn cannot weak hit on his A1. So this attack can't be strong, can't be critical, or can't be weak. So he won't increase the boss's counter when he attacks with the A1. So the more A1s I do with those Ascensions, I actually lower the counter because he can't weak hit. So yes, I do realize I have a Gnarahorn with 320 crit damage that can't crit. So you gotta love Gnarahorn in that role. But it's what makes the team work. So I will waste 320 crit damage on a Gnarahorn, who I 6-starred just for this after having him for 3 years. So, oh well, at least Gnarahorn's getting some extra play. And then I'll skip to Wither. Wither has high HP and defense on here because I figured if I'm building Wither, I might as well build her for the fun of it. But for this role, as I said, Reliquary Tender as a rare can do just as well in this role. All you need in this role is 54,000 HP, so half the HP, and you only need 2,000 defense on that cleanser for this comp to work. You don't need these high numbers on Wither. So 54,000 HP, 2,000 defense. I've seen a little lower, but I don't know that I'm comfortable with it. So the ones where I've seen where they have been at least 10 runs with 100% effect, 100% win rate, it was the 54 2.0. Speed has to be between 285 and 291 for the team to work. 285 to 291. So the protection spot where I'm using a level 50 Paragon, we'll find out if that works, but I believe it will. So I only needed to hit 42,000 in HP and 1.9 in defense that I've seen work with 100% success rate. So I even have more defense on my level 50 than I think you need. Key on it is the speed has to be between 175 and 177. So this one's a little tighter. I've been told you don't need that, but if I just look at all the teams I've seen to be successful, they're all on that range, 175, 177. So you might as well. There's no point in going faster. You might as well get the speed at 175, 177. Any extra stats you can get, just put into HP and defense. You don't need resistance, accuracy. You don't need crit rate. You don't need crit damage. Those are the only stats that matter, is get the speed where you need it. I don't really think Paragon's going to take much of a hit. That's why you don't need much stats, and that's why I'm going to try it with level 50. And then the 2 DPS, those you might as well build for damage, and I find that the HP and the defense aren't really critical. You can see how low I have Cold Heart at. But 214 speed on this one, the DPSs are a pretty wide range. What I've seen be successful, though, is having them within ranges close to each other. I've been told it doesn't matter, but if I just look at the successful teams, I see these two, like this one's at 214 and this one's at 210. They're fairly close in range of speed. I've seen them be at about 240, 245 for the 2 DPSs, and that works well. And I've seen them at much different speeds. But what I've noticed is the difference, the range between the two. The most I've seen them be apart in speed is 18 speed, is the most I've seen in the successful teams. The average, they were only 1.3 different in speed. So I'm 4 different. So that's obviously the average, because what that means is some were higher and some were lower. But they were all pretty narrow in the range close to each other. I don't know why that matters, but as I said, the teams I've seen be successful, the ranges, you didn't have one at 245 and one at 210. They weren't 30 apart. The most I saw apart was 18. So I'll give that to you because it's what I've seen in successful teams. I just picked the 210 to 215 range just because my main Cold Heart was already at that speed. But the more popular range I see is having these at about 245 each, and it does go faster in the run when they're both 245 than they're 214. So if you can do 245 and get enough damage to do the max HP, it's what I'd do. I just didn't bother getting the speeds up on these two because I was happy with what I think I'm going to get out of it. The next comment is on Ascensions. So what you can see is I have a 5-star Gnarlhorn, a 6-star Cold Heart. Do you need these Ascensions to work? If I look at the Ascensions, the average I saw on, if you just take the total red stars and add them together, the average I saw was 16 Ascensions across the team. The Ascension benefit is linear. What that means is if you have a 1-star champion, you get credit for 1. If you have a 2-star like this Cold Heart, she'll reduce the counter by 2. If you have a 5-star, he reduces the counter by 5. So there's no extra benefit to having a 6-star versus a 1-star. They get the same credit per star. So what that means is the total number of stars on your team is just as good if you have 2 6-stars at 12 than if you have 4 of these at 3 stars to get to 12. It's just total number of stars that you want to get to. And the minimum I saw was 12 stars on a successful team. That team was 100% win rate, and I said I didn't look at any teams that were less than 10 wins. So the minimum was 12, and that team was 100% successful. Mine's 22, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. The average of all teams I saw being successful that I pulled data on was 16 stars. So 12 minimum, get closer to 16, and you're right in the range of everyone else. Get up to 22 like I have, and it should just go smoothly, and it should be overkill. So you don't need that number of stars. You don't need a 6-star. You just need to get to that minimum 12, average of 16 to feel comfortable. The other thing I noticed, I looked at teams that had more stars than teams that had less stars. The more stars you have did not mean anything on speed of run. So you don't need more stars to make it faster. Once you have stars that make the run work, you might as well stop. There's no extra benefit in more stars. That I found surprising, the team settings. So on Wither, you can see that I am on the auto run on 25. I will have her open with her increased defense and continuous heal. The boss, strangely enough, on the first hit just puts the enfeeble on Gnarlhorn and doesn't spread the enfeeble yet. So she will just put the increased defense and continuous heal. She will hold her cleanse until her second move, and from there, the speed tune will just allow her to do the turn, the cleanse at the right time. Cold Heart, Heartseeker's first priority. Use it whenever she has it, and I'll let her use the other abilities. There is a reason why I don't lock out, in even with a 6-star Cold Heart, where she could use it. Remember, there's no benefit in the 4 hits with the extension, so using either skill is the same benefit for the 6 stars, but she gets penalized if she has the enfeeble on her with 4 hits. So there were times when I found I did want to use the A2 because it only attacks 1 time, and if she happens to have the enfeeble and the timing's off, I'd rather have her use that skill than the A1. So both Cold Hearts have the same setup, where I leave all the abilities on, but the Heartseeker's first priority. Paragon uses damage control, the unkillable, to go on Gnarlhorn as first priority. Whenever that thing's available, just keep it on Gnarlhorn. I really don't care what else Paragon does. So Paragon's sole role in this attack is just to get it out there. I'll show you the builds when I'm done. I do have Toxic Sex, I think, on Gnarlhorn or Paragon. From what I saw in the optimizer, that's pretty useless. It doesn't matter, and the damage is 90% less to poisons, but I saw someone doing it, so I figured, why not? I'll use some poison sets and toxic sets and see how that works. A note on speed. I did notice, though, I said greater extensions don't make the run faster. Toxic sets I don't think will make much of a difference. War Master and Giant Slayer on these champions, though, I did see about a 13-second increase. So if you have War Master or Giant Slayer, so like Giant Slayer on these two, War Master on the others, then you would have about a 13-second faster run. If you get reflex sets on these 2 Cold Hearts, on a best time basis, I saw that be about 25 seconds faster. So somewhere between 0, because they may not proc the reflex set during the run, somewhere between 0 and 25 seconds. So there's definitely a benefit to getting these 2 in a reflex set. I've done stage 15. I've never even attempted the other ones. I'm going to timestamp this and start at 16. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try 16. I'll try 17. If I find that the learnings are the same, that the how to get to 25 is the same, then I won't bother keeping the recording for all the runs to get to 24. At 24, I'll probably turn it back on. But if there's nothing to learn from seeing all these stages, then I'll just clip those from the video. But I'll at least show you how the strategy works, because this won't work full auto on all stages, because it is speed tuned for 25. So they won't do the right skills throughout the run. So turn off auto. So as you can see, he put the enfeeble. I won't talk about this in each stage, but just show how the runs work and how the bosses works. He puts the enfeeble on him to start with. That's why if you're using Reliquary Tender here, you want to A1 here. I'm going to use Wither's A2 because she can put the increased defense up. Why not? But if I had Reliquary Tender here, I would do an A1. Just don't use the cleanse on whoever your cleanser is at that spot. Cold Heart can go ahead and Heartseek. Cold Heart 2 can go ahead and Heartseek. Gnarlhorn will just A1 like we said. Paragon will put the unkillable on Gnarlhorn. Okay, so now you can see the boss spread the enfeeble to everyone. So now if Wither wasn't the next fastest, I'd be in trouble because we would do damage, but she's going to cleanse and get those enfeebles off everybody, except for the one that's protected. So now Cold Heart can use whatever skill she wants. Actually, I probably want to put the heal reduction on, but it won't land it. I'll just A1 here because I have no choice. Gnarlhorn only A1s. He can do whatever he wants. Why not? I have no accuracy on these champs, so I might as well just A1. I will use the A2 when it's available. That's nice smite to hit there. Gnarlhorn only A1s. Unkillable on Gnarlhorn. Wither does not need to cleanse yet because I don't have the debuff spread, so save the cleanse and A1. So if that was Reliquary Tender, I would have A1'd. Okay, now the debuffs are out. So this is where I was saying I probably should save the A2 on Cold Heart when I don't need it, because now she's going to use the A1 and put 32 on that counter. So that was my example of I should save the A2s on the Cold Hearts when I don't need to use them. So that is a lesson learned here, because then that would only be a single hit. She can Heartseek. Go ahead and use the debuffs. Heartseek. A1 only for Gnarlhorn. A1's available. So I've learned, save the A2, just in case I don't have the Enfeeble up. Unkillable on Gnarlhorn. Save the A2. I don't need to cleanse because I have nothing I can cleanse, so I will just A1. If this is Reliquary Tender, I would just A1. Alright, debuffs are up. Gnarlhorn can't weak hit, so that's not a problem, just A1. See, this is where I was showing she now has the Enfeeble. I'm going to use the A2 because it's a single hit and the counter only goes up 8, and she takes it right back because of her 6 Ascension. Wither can cleanse. Save the A2 in case we need it later. Cold Heart somehow lands that. Impressive. He doesn't have his unkillable. A1. Wither can put up the increased defense. Not that it matters. That's what I was saying. Reliquary Tender would work just as well as Wither. You can tell we don't even need that increased defense. It's pointless. A1. Save the A2. A1. Put the unkillable on Gnarlhorn. Heartseek. Well, I'm going to get penalized because she has the Enfeeble, and she's going to weak hit. But I don't think that matters to a Heartseek, so we're going to hit it. No, it does matter. So we just learned something there. Don't Heartseek with the Enfeeble. We just wasted that Heartseeker. And we made this fight a little longer. Save the A2. Unkillable on Gnarlhorn. Save the A2. Keep paying the price for using the... I didn't use the A3 there, I just A1'd. Alright, that's 16. And we get... what are these things even called? Extract. We got some extract. Alright, that's stage 16. Stage 2 Stage 2 Stage 2
Right.
See, there's something going on there. He doesn't cycle back in time. Now Aaron's got to use his A2. Okay, so definitely something I learned here in stage 21. There's something going on here in stage 21. So I stopped here to come back and say, hey, let's take a look at stage 21. The boss is doing something different later in the run, and he's killing Gnarlhorn. So I'm going to have to do something a little different here on the end of stage 21. You'll see. So we're fine through here. Same approach as all the other runs. Cleanse. We'll use the A1. A1's fine. A1. Still got 2 turn unkillable, we're good. Can't do anything but A1. I'll use the A1. A1. A2. Still got a 1 turn unkillable, I'll use the A1. Paragon's about to go, so he's got the unkillable back on for 2 turns. Don't need the cleanse, go A1. She's got enfeeble, we'll go A2. Enfeeble, we'll go A2. Cleanse. He's still got unkillable for 2 turns, we'll go A1. Paragon's coming up, we'll go A1. Heartseeker's ready, we'll go. No enfeeble. Heartseeker with no enfeeble, we'll do it. Put up the A2. Paragon's about to go, so we'll go ahead and A1. 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 Put the unkillable on Gnarlhorn. She's ready, go ahead and cleanse. Gnarlhorn still has 2 turn unkillable. A1. We will A1. A1, A2. This would be A1 if you had Reliquary Tender there, or somebody with just don't use your cleanse. So this might be where things got sketchy. I will Heartseek. He's got 1 turn left. He's still pretty far low, and he's about to go. This is where Gnarlhorn was dying. So I'm going to use Gnarlhorn's ability on himself. No, I'm not. Sorry, that one. To give him 2 turns until Paragon can come back. That's a change. But that's getting me through 21. So you got to pay attention, I guess. If Paragon wasn't going to get his ability back in time, might as well save it because he's already got 2 turns. A1. Don't need the cleanse. Go ahead and go A1. Can't Heartseek because she has it feeble, so use the A2. Cleanse. Heartseek's not there. A1. I'm going to put the Unkillable on him for 2 turns. Heartseek is ready and no Enfeeble. A2. Just not your cleanse, whoever your skills are. Go ahead and A1. He's got 2 turns left on the Unkillable. A1. A1. Can't do anything but A1. A1. Can't Heartseek. Got an A2 because the Enfeeble's on. I'm going to go ahead and... See, I'm going to use the Unkillable again. Maybe Paragon gets back, but I'm not going to find out. So I'll use his Unkillable. Let her cleanse. A1. Don't need the Unkillable now. Heartseek's ready and no Enfeeble. A2. A1. 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 Put the Unkillable on Gnarlhorn. A1. Cleanse. Oh, we just need a Heartseeker. There it is. Alright, that's 21. So I had to use a Gnarlhorn's Unkillable on there when it didn't look like Paragon was getting back on time for 21 to work. So just keep an eye on that. I might fast forward through the next 2 stages, but just keep an eye on that as a change from what I was doing to get to this point. So there's sometimes to get to 25 where you might need to use Gnarlhorn's Unkillable before I'm able to go full auto. Alright, let's see if stage 22 brings any surprises. A1. Cleanse. So you get back Cold Heart for the unkillable here, for this Heartseeker. Cold Heart. Finish it. Thank you. So Cold Heart got killed there. Alright, let's see what our boy Gnut can do. Killable. Cleanse those debuffs. Save the A2. Save the A2. A1. He's got 2 left. We'll just go A1. A1. Tracker staying at 0. Save the A2. A1. A2. Save that cleanse. A1 again. He's got 1 turn left. Paragon's about to go though, we're good. Paragon's got it. Save the cleanse. A2, she's got enfeeble. A2, he's got enfeeble. Cleanse. The counter's getting up there. We gotta do some work here. A1 should go down. A1, go down a little more. So he can go ahead and use his big hit. She can call the Heartseek. A2. A1. Alright, counter's getting down. He's about to come back. Let's just use A1. He's got it back. Put the unkillable on him. A1. A1. He's got an enfeeble. We're going to use the A2. Cleanse. Two turns unkillable left. A1. 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 A2. A1, he's about to go unkillable. Can use the A2 and that, or A3, that might end it. Alright, well that's 24 with Gnut. I don't know why Cold Heart's not working though. I need to figure out why Cold Heart's not working on that stage. But let's see how 25 works. We'll come back to 24. Because I think I'm going to have the same problem on 25. Alright, let's go back to our presets. We'll try stage 25. Team setup is the way I want it. So let's see how this works full auto. 25, first time. I don't feel good about Cold Heart here. Better cleanse, thank you. They're burning the A2s. So far, so good. Unkillable back on. This is where it could go bad. If she goes... Oh, yep, timing's good. Alright, we cleansed. Heart of Pains. He's going A1. She used A1. 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 Heartseeker in. Heartseeker in. Okay. Increase defense up. It's going well. Okay, she... Ooh, look at that. Right on. Cleanse right there. She got reflex proc. She's going to Heartseek. A1. Art of Pain. Art of Pain. She the reflex cooled down the Art of Pain. Maybe I should turn off the Art of Pain on her so that reflex can proc Heartseeker. Come on, you with her? Yes! Right on, Heartseeker. Yeah, that speed tune's working perfectly here. Nobody's having to use that Heartseeker. Or the A1 with Enfeeble on. So far. Okay. A1. Got the Unkillable back up. We're at 2 minutes already though. I was hoping this would be about a 2-minute run. So no Heartseekers procced on the reflexes. Heartseeker. Increase defense. Come on, somebody finish him off. Do your thing with her. There you go. Cleanse right on. Alright, we just need a Heartseeker. Done! So 255. That is longer than I was hoping for. But I don't know that I'm racing on Phantom Shogun's Grove. So if I can do that during CVC, or I can do that during Shogun's tournaments, and you still have 2 or 3 days to run energy on this level. 3 minutes? I think I'm still pretty good with that. Because it's a team you could use 5 rares for. I plugged in Wither, but you could use Reliquary Tender. I don't use these champions anywhere else. Maybe a Cold Heart here or there, but really no. Maybe Dark Fae? I don't think so. So really, and I brought my main Cold Heart in and the gear she was already wearing. So had to swap out the amulet, but she still was doing max HP hits. So I think I'm pretty happy with this team. I might see if I can get another reflex set on the Cold Heart that doesn't have one. And I think I would turn off the Art of Pain on the one that has reflex so that the reflex would trigger the Heartseeker. So that would probably speed up the run a little bit when it procs. But I don't see the run being much slower than what they just did because I don't see what would change. It's only if those reflex sets proc that it would go faster. So if it's running about 255 or so on average, and then lower if the reflex sets hit, I think I'd be pretty good with that. So, as I said, 4 rares, you can do it with 5. Don't need to build them anywhere else. No accuracy, no resistance, pretty low speeds. It's an easy build to take down stage 25. So, I think that works for me. So, okay, not everybody has Gnut though. I realize that. So let's throw a Husk in there as an epic and just see how that works. His speed is 210, so that should work pretty well in the speed range with Cold Heart. So let's just see how that goes. We'll do that one. We'll do his max HP hit. I didn't actually catch the damage on that. We'll do the A2. Cleanse. Okay, one, say A2. One, say 1, say A3. 1. 1, let's go back. Double goes, A1. There we go. Save the cleanse immediate. A1. We'll use the A3 as a single target. We're single ability. That's turn left, good. Keep her right down. She's got ready, no people. I see two. That is next, left. Okay, forward. One. Cleanse, left. One. Get her up, one. All right, so that worked just as well. So that's good to see. You have another option there. Look at the champions that we just used. So Wither was in Immortal. She's got a stone skin or a protection set on there. Stone skin? Stone skin set on there. And a speed set. She does have a revenge and a reaction. You don't need those, but she's wearing them. She's not going to take any real hits in here. She's missing some masteries, but she got War Master on there. She does have Brimstone, which if that procs, it does speed up the run, so that's kind of nice. But it's not you don't need it. The run could just keep going with those Heartseekers, taking it down to 10%. So you don't need the Brimstone, but it's nice to have, which is why I do like having Wither over Reliquary Tender, because you have 5 rares, you're not going to get Brimstone. So it speeds up the runs. I don't believe in the run we just watched. I don't remember that proccing. I'd have to go back and look at that, but I think that 255 was without it, so it's probably a pretty representative run. That's Wither. And then the Cold Heart I was running, she's in a reflex set. I did have to put on a defense banner instead of crit damage, of all things. But she is running 40,000 HP, 2,000 defense. She still has 257 crit damage, so she was still doing the max HP hit on the boss, so swapping that really didn't matter. HP, the resistance and accuracy don't matter. She doesn't need that for landing Heartseeker, so those are irrelevant. She does have Flawless Execution of all things, so she's not even using War Master here, but she gets 20% more crit damage there. None of those other masteries really matter. They're just the damage ones help, I guess. And she is using Phantom Touch for her 6-star to get more damage out of there. I don't think I did show you the screen on Wither. As I said in the beginning, you don't need these stats. As I said, the HP and defense you needed on your cleanser were only 54,000 HP and 2,000 defense, so you don't need those high numbers. That speed is in the range, though, that I quoted earlier, and the rest of the stats don't really matter on her. Nallarhorn is in a toxic set, which I don't think makes any difference. He does have one reaction piece, but he doesn't get hurt on that first attack, so I don't think that matters either. And speed is critical here, and if you can get HP in defense, it just helps him get through that first hit. But after that, he's unkillable the rest of the way. And higher crit damage than anyone else on the team is all that really matters. He does have War Master on there, and I do have the Life Drinker one, but it doesn't really matter because he's unkillable the whole time. So I did like Retribution on there because with his stars, he's got 5 stars on my Narrow Horn. So if you do have stars on there, the Retribution, if he does the Retribution hit, takes another 5 off the counter. So it's a nice to have. You don't need it. And Cold Heart 2, artifacts, pretty broken sets. She does have 1 speed set coming through. 210 speed. She's got higher HP than the other Cold Heart did, but pretty low defense. She's got a pretty nice crit damage on there. The rest of the stats don't really matter. I never put a blessing on her apparently, so I would put Phantom Touch on her, but she doesn't have it. And masteries. She is on a spider build, and I tried Helm Smasher on this one and Flawless Execution on the other one. Ideally, she has War Master for this fight. As I said, I didn't redo the masteries for these champs. I just figured I'd see what they do, but War Master would be better here. As I said, if everybody has War Master and Giant Slayer, it takes about 13 seconds off the run, so I probably should switch her over from Helm Smasher, because I don't use her anywhere else anyway. I just didn't bother, I guess. Oops, sorry. And then Paragon would be the last one on the Stage 25 team. Toxic set again is not important. Level 50, I don't even get a banner. I do have 1 Revenge Amulet, which is pointless because he doesn't do anything on the A1. Does have Phantom Touch for the 5-star. Doesn't really do any damage though. So, and I did get enough masteries for a level 50 just to get some damage, but it's pointless. So the masteries here really, there's no point in any of those masteries being on Paragon, to be honest, because Paragon doesn't do any damage in the fight. And then I did use Gnut in that stage 24 battle. I don't know why the boss was targeting Cold Heart there, but Gnut's in a pretty traditional build with Perception. Doesn't have he's got more defense than Cold Heart did, I guess, but HP, not that much more, but enough to make a difference, I guess. 258 speed, 257 crit damage. And he did the job there. Masteries, he's coming over to Flawless Execution to get more of those because I couldn't get enough in the build without it. Otherwise, I would have had Giant Slayer on there, I think. And he does have Brimstone Blessing, 1-star. So those were the builds. I hope this video was helpful. And please leave any comments of anything that I didn't answer, any questions you have, of any information you have, and put some work into this. I definitely appreciate the subscription and like to the video if you found it helpful, interesting, or you just want to give me a little charity. So appreciate it. Thank you.